Greetings, fellow in time and space. This is your host, TheAmariaShadow, and welcome back to the channel. And welcome back once again to some more of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. We're going to continue our last stuff in the last live stream. We made it to day 2 of the investigation and day 2 of episode 5. So without further ado, let's get started on our way to today's adventure and see what's in store for us. Allons-y! February 23rd, 2:15 p.m. Wright & Co. Law Offices. Mr. Wright, so, what's going on with the case anyway? I'm a little confused. Huh? Well, let's see, what is going on? The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death after 5 p.m. on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot and the police department's evidence room. What's this and the evidence room part? The prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes apart by car. Well, that's what we're going to find out, or try to at least. Alright, let's do it. She's in good spirits, but I'm not sure she's going to be much help with it. Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright. Huh? Look, we're in this together, right? I'll prove that these thick-rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. Let's go! Science awaits us! February 23rd, Prosecutor's Office, Underground Parking Lot. No, I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder. There wasn't even a body found there. Who cares? Yeah, it was only our victim who was killed in their evidence room. No biggie. Besides, my sister would never do such a thing. I know it. That oil drum, was it empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. My sister erasing evidence of the crime scene? Never! You know, she says they don't get along. Emma really likes her sister. That's not it at all. It's just, we're both professionals at what we do, and I trust her. Big words for a high school student. Well, whether there was blood on the floor or not, the water in that oil drum washed it all away. Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright. Huh? What's that grin for? This situation calls for one thing, and that is luminol testing fluid. Luminol? Blood is sticky stuff, you know. You can't just wash it away with a little water. Even if you can't see it, it's still there. But wouldn't the police have already done those tests? Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Just give it a try. But me? Why do I have to do it? I'm a minor. I can't even drink yet. We're testing blood stains with this stuff, not drinking it. Here, look. I'll lend you these glasses, huh? You got an extra pair of those things? To test for a blood reaction, just spray the luminol on it. Like this, see? Press the X button and spray it on. Okay, let's find us some blood stains. I can see her eyes shining behind those glasses. So is this a blood stain? It's so... Ugh! Emma, you're shaking. It's just... This is my first time seeing... Okay, well, we definitely know that this is a blood stain, but doesn't something strike you as odd, scientifically speaking, of course? I've thought about this, scientifically. The amount of blood, for starters. The perpetrator and Detective Goodman fought here, right? Don't you think there'd be a little more blood? I definitely think so. I mean, look at all the blood on the sole of the victim's shoe. It is pretty... If they fought here, there'd have to have been more... Hey, Mr. Wright. I'm gonna mark up the floor plans when we find a bloodstain, okay? See, they're pretty handy to have around, right? Yeah, and this is pretty handy too. I saved up my allowance to buy that. We can't be sure that the police will reveal all the evidence to court. Sometimes they fail to Let's drag that hidden evidence out into the light of day. Yeah, it feels like we're really investigating a crime now, doesn't it? Guess I should give this a spray on anything suspicious. Ha! I wonder how that fluid of yours would react to a nice deli box. The star! You don't want to trust your own eyes. Not bad, you two. This day-old deli box is on the house. Sorry, it's just that kind of lead and doesn't really get my mouth watering. Really put me in a tight spot today. Apologies, Mr. Sharp. No, it's okay. It was my fault. Oh, we know. I witnessed everything from that security room right there. But I was afraid that I wouldn't sound convincing. I was wrong to think that. I'm sorry. Sorry. You lied on the witness stand. That's unforgivable. Little girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if the place I witnessed it. I saw Chief Prosecutor Sky stab a man in cold blood, and that testimony still stands. I swear it, on my honor as a detective, she stabbed Good. Okay, I am so tired of my headphones blinking, having audio, just dropping the audio every so often. I really hate that. I don't know why it's doing that, considering this is a new headset, but I'm willing to bet there's a problem with the port that my headset is connected to. I know this photograph has something important to tell us, but what? So, you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Star? Yes, it was a long time ago. Well, 2 years ago. No matter how hardened the criminal, when they faced it, they coughed it up. Coughed it up? They confessed. They babbled like babies. You know. I may seem like a demon sometimes, but I can be an angel too. I wouldn't doubt it. Every day I dragged the dirt out of the mouth of suspect after suspect. Before long they called me the Cough Up Queen. Oh, here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunches. You were let go? Or fired? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator, and if these prim and proper prosecutors hadn't let me go, I'd still be one today. It's all because of that case, the SL-9 incident. Give me a minute, I'm a little distracted here. SL-9? Wait, she doesn't mean... About the SL-9 incident is written on that knife. And on that note, Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know? Really? That knife was evidence from that case. The murder weapon. He was sued for transferal of it. Very day that Goodman was killed. As I suspected, SL-9 isn't over. Not yet. You can tell us more about the SL-9. Oh my god, headset, please! Stop! Give me a second. So I just unplugged my little Bluetooth adapter out from the back port of my PS5 and put it in the front port. I have my charger cord unplugged right now. I had one of those up until 2 years ago, back when you were at the cough-up screen, right? We found this ID card here in this parking lot. Well, there's no mistaking that. It's definitely Goodman's. But it's the same ID as the man who was killed at the police department. That's impossible. I wish I could be so sure. If you think about it, I could have taken that picture from the garden room. But even I get flustered sometimes, so you went straight to the scene of crime. I rushed towards the chain link fence in an effort to stop the murder. That's when I took this photo, yes. In other words, 5 minutes after the crime. Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. the whole of my testimony anywhere. The 5 minutes weren't the problem, Miss Star. You lying was the problem. Listen, little girl, I've had my testimony disregarded before, and I was going to have it disregarded again. Just like that time. That time? That incident really opened up my eyes to the truth. We're nothing to them. Disposable. Disposable? To who? 2 years ago. It was the biggest case I'd ever had. I'm pretty sure the prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence, so they didn't solve it. On the contrary, it was solved quite cleanly. The criminal was caught and executed. Executed? Yes, the criminal got what was coming to him. It doesn't get any clearer than that. The only problem was, they never did find decisive evidence. Not a shred. What? But the criminal was executed, right? On the basis of evidence of a sort. Made up evidence. What? You mean they executed someone with fabricated evidence? The best part came several months after the trial. Every detective involved with the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolman, others found themselves out of a job. And you were one of those. Myself and one other person you know well. Wait, could it be? Exactly. Detective Jake Marshall. Police Department Security Detail Officer Jake Marshall. As professional detectives, we investigated that case from every angle. Jake was particularly determined, and then it was over, and he was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten, and neither have I. You haven't forgotten SL9? There was another side to that case, a hidden side. That's what we're after now, and no one up at their fancy offices can stop us. Wait! Those lunches you sell. There's only one reason I come to sell lunches in this in-person office. I come here to meet old friends, boyfriends that can help me investigate. Miss Star's old boyfriends. How many does she have anyway? Just when all the detectives on SL9 have disappeared, we find new evidence. There has to be a connection. So, rookie. What? It seems like you're serious about investigating this case. Yes? Then you should take this. Salisbury steak lunch? I know a certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with his treat. Miss Star, Officer Marshall, is he your, are you going out or what? Why do you want to know? I was just wondering what happened to him. A long time ago, when he was helping my sister do cases, he was so nice. He got along so well with my sister, it made me jealous. And he was nice to me too back then. This would be when Officer Marshall was detective. But now he's so cold. Jake and I are merely cooperating with this investigation. We're putting the past to rest, as it were. Nothing more than that. I see. Thank you. Officer Jake Marshall. February 23rd, Police Department entrance. It's even busier here today than it was yesterday. The detectives are running around so fast they're blurring. I suppose it makes sense. A detective did get killed here after all. So, the evidence room. The scene of the crime. According to the pamphlet we got at the front desk, here it is. She's like a kid at an amusement park. Ooh, a real crime scene. Let's go take a look. February 23rd, evidence room, entrance, guard station. I'm noticing that I'm not getting any clicks and drops with my audio now, so I guess that was always the issue with my last headset. It was the plug itself, which means, give me a second. I'm willing to bet if I switch the plug that my backup hard drive is plugged up to that plug, it should stay connected because it's not running with that much power. But if I plug my other headset into the plug where my backup hard drive is, that would be better. What's with the decor in this place? It's very eccentric. According to the pamphlet, this is the guard station for the evidence room. So beyond that door is the evidence room. The scene of the crime? It sure seems that way. Oh. What's wrong? It's those cacti. They're so prickly, so imposing. It's hard to think straight. If you can't handle the cacti, stay out of the desert. Good drink. What I want to know is, if this is a guard station, where's the guard? I have a feeling I know who he is already. Evidence room is beyond that door. Let's just walk in. It won't open. You thought it'd be open? I think we need someone's permission to go in there first. February 23rd, Police Department entrance. This place is charged with frantic energy as always. Please! Huh, wasn't that? One steak lunch, please! Oh, it's you. Inspector Gumshoe. Now's no time for chit-chat, pal. I'm a busy man. What I really need is a steak lunch from Lunchland. Oh, you need one of these? Actually, it's not for sale. I think I just heard the sound of his heart breaking. Now's no time for despair. We've caught our criminal. Now we just need evidence. The criminal? You mean you heard about the stabbing in the police department evidence room, right, pal? On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department. And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. It's the biggest scandal that hit the station in ages. Everything's topsy-turvy. But Detective Gumshoe, who was it? Listen, pal, all I know is I need me a steak lunch. Pronto! Standing around here talking isn't going to fill my belly. But wait, don't leave. If you want to know more, head on down to the detention center, pal. Questioning should be over, so I figure he's down there having a good cry. Later! He ran off to the evidence room. Well, this investigation is off to a running start. February 23rd, Detention Center, Visitors Room. Still, I do feel better about things. A little. I mean, they caught the person who stabbed Detective Goodman, didn't they? Yeah, I guess they did. Let's not go too far down that road right now. Things will just get confusing. Ow! What was that? Sir, that's what I'm saying. Me, a perpetrator? I'd say I was the perpetrated against, sir. That's what I'd say. Hi. Greetings, sir. Wait, I know who you are. Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got to report, sir. Officer Meekins. So you're a guard here at the detention center? No, sir, I'm not, sir. I'm a little lost patrolman, like a little lost lamb, sir. Oh, I get it. You're here to deliver a report? No, sir, how should I say this? Wait, he isn't. Is he? You, Officer Meekins. You didn't, did you? Perpetrator Officer Meekins reporting, sir. What? What? Now this is an unexpected turn of events. Sir, I'm a patrolman with General Affairs, sir. Sir! Ow, I could hear you fine, Officer Meekins. I had some business that day, sir, and so I went to the evidence room, sir. The guard station in front of the room was empty, sir. So normally there's a guard at the evidence room? That's right, sir, because evidence is kept in the evidence room, sir. Now, the security officer was none other than Officer Marshall. But Marshall? Then, sir, I happened to glance at the security room monitor. That's when I saw him, sir. A suspicious person in the evidence room. A suspicious person, sir! A suspicious person! What the heck is this guy doing? So what happened then? After that, sir, everything went white. I saw red. I blacked out. And when I came to, I was here, in the detention center. How long were you out? Days? Might I ask, what happened to your hand? Sir, there was no one to bandage me, sir, so I did what I could to wrap it up, sir. A bandage on his hand? Just like Miss Sky. Yet another similarity between this case and the one at the prosecutor's office. First things first, tell us how you hurt your hand. I don't mean to pry, but you are the perpetrator, correct? You killed Detective Bruce Goodman in the evidence room, right? Sir, please don't look at me with those sad puppy dog eyes, sir. Did you have to label me as perpetrator or victim, sir? Then label me victim! I would, but you happen to be in detention and alive and well at that. Oh yes, well that's true, sir. I suppose you could say that. Did you know the victim, Detective Goodman? Well, sir, if I had to label him as a stranger or a total stranger, And I say he leans heavily on the total stranger side. So, you didn't know him? Sir, I work in a tiny department devoid of light or other creature comforts. I don't know any detectives. So if he was a total stranger, why did you stab him? Sir, I had no intention of killing him, sir. None! Nor do I have any recollection of killing him, sir. At least someone around here is more confused than I am. About your hand, did that happen during the course of the crime? Well, you see, sir, don't you think you should just confess? But sir, there was nothing I could do! Nothing you could do? Sir, to tell the truth, sir, when it happened, when the detective pointed that knife at me, I just hollered, sir. And the next thing I knew, I was unconscious. The next thing you knew, you were, huh? And when I opened my eyes, I was alone in the evidence room, sir, all alone. Alone because Detective Goodman had disappeared. What? And when I looked down, I was gushing blood from my hand, sir. Oh, the shock, oh, the sorrow, sir. Can you imagine how I felt? The victim's body disappeared? That's some story. Do you think you could take a look at this? Hey, that's it, sir! That's it! That's it! That's what? My head was a blank until this very moment, but sir, now I remember. I remember, sir. You mean you remember what happened? Correct! That card! That card was the cause of it all! This ID card? Exactly, sir! That's exactly it! Nothing could be more exact, sir. Nothing! I'd better pry into this one a little deeper. Can you tell me what it is you do remember? Well, sir, you might say I'm a little lost little patrolman. A lost little lamb, if you will. I didn't know Mr. Detective Goodman, who was in the evidence room. And that's why you thought he looked suspicious. Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to show me his ID card. Well, that sounds pretty much by the book so far. That's right, sir. That's what I've been trying to tell you. So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do? That's the thing. Suddenly, he pointed a knife at me. What? Sir, I assure you, I was as flustered as you are right now. So I whooped and leapt at him. Detective Goodman pointed a knife at him? Do unto others before they do unto you. My own father's words, sir. Well, what happened then? Well, my eyes, sir, everything went white. When I awoke, I was here. Right. So, Officer Meekins, why was it that they arrested you? What do you mean, Emma? Let's look at what we know. Now, Officer Meekins didn't know Detective Goodman, and the victim, who he met at the scene of the crime, didn't show his ID card. In other words, we have no way of knowing if the victim was really the victim. And if his body just disappeared from the evidence room, we don't even know if anyone actually died. That's it, sir! That's what I wanted to say! That is, I did say something along those lines. Huh? But you still ended up here? They told me that it had to be him, sir. On that day, at that time, Detective Goodman was definitely in the evidence room. That's what they said. But you don't remember the events clearly? No, but the videotape is quite clear. Huh? Videotape? From the security camera. The crime, my crime, the crime I swore to stay about. It's there, it's me, it's on tape. And you waited until now to tell us this? I'm sorry, really sorry, sir. I'll hand over my badge. I don't deserve it. No thanks, I have my own. Well, guess we better go check out the crime scene. Oh, wait. Oh, I didn't even realize it said Criminal Affairs Department. Hang on. February 23rd, Police Station, Criminal Affairs Department. Hey, Mr. Wright, look who's standing at the Chief of Detective's desk. It's Police Chief Scamp. And you're sure this is all? You know what it means if there's anything missing. Sir, I'm sure it's most likely totally perfect. We checked all of his under his sheet cushion, behind his computer monitor, inside his personal coffee machine. I see. Well, if anything does turn up, you call me right away, will you? Yes, sir! We'll scour the place again, sir. The Chief of Detectives looks a little flustered. Righto, my boy. How you been? Swim much? Oh, Chief Kent, reporting for duty, sir. Why are you saluting him, Mr. Wright? Is Ezra going to be okay?
Oh, were they? Oh, you know, they're doing a little inquiry community visit.
Sounds like an inquisition.
Yep, well, they've had no end of trouble with the boys since last year.
You mean the incident on Forward Lake?
It doesn't look good having a top prosecutor sit in the defendant's seat, does it? And you got someone else found guilty in that case, right, Righto?
Fun karma.
Alleged he was, undefeated in his 40-year career. When in court, you fixed it so he was caught for forging evidence.
But wait, I didn't do anything wrong. He did forge evidence.
In any case, the prosecutor's office is in a bit of turmoil, you might say. Why, they do just about anything to restore their reputation. Now, depending on what that inquiry committee decides, it could be bad for Worthy.
What?
It's downright on, I tell you. The detective getting killed on their own, and they're tough, too, I mean.
They're being the prosecutors, I assume. Scientifically speaking, it's impossible.
Yes, but that's what the evidence is saying. Goodman was stabbed in 2 locations at the same time. That's what it says.
What evidence is this?
Now, Righto, I can't give away all our secrets just like that. And this in particular, well, it's a little sensitive, and I can't talk about it.
Wasn't expecting much anyway.
You know, one thing I hate most of all is hiding stuff. Secrets! Can't stand them. You know, it's a full-time job just keeping the chief of detectives trap shut.
He was the one you were picking on earlier?
Huh? You saw that? Whoops!
I wonder what it was that he wanted the chief of detectives to do. Let's see if we can kind of discreetly ask him. Ooh, sorry you had to see that. What exactly did the chief of police want you to do?
Well, see over there? That's Goodman's desk.
He wanted me to check it for anything that might be a clue. They took away every last piece of garbage in the trash can. So nothing belonging to that Goodman is still here?
Of course not.
Well, except for this.
What? You kept something?
Sure, why not? It's not important. He didn't even finish writing it. It's a lost item report, but it's only half complete.
A lost item? Did Detective Goodman do something?
The date on it is February 21st. Better make a note of that just in case. I should really get back to investigating the police department crime scene. Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you a favor.
Well, I never thought the day would come when Righto asked me for help.
I was wondering if you could investigate the evidence room.
All Righto.
Actually, I'm sorry. I don't need to investigate after all.
Righto, please, do I look like a selfish man? Huh? Heck, if anyone asked me, sir, can I borrow $50? I'd give them $50. No problem. So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's content. Knock yourself out. It just goes to show, you never know until you ask. And for you here, you can borrow this.
Hey, this is a detective's ID card, isn't it?
That's a special card for guests. Don't lose it.
Yes, sir. It's an honor.
You just run along and do your best now. Later, folks.
It looks pretty cool on my lapel, doesn't it? Just think, a real ID. You seem happy. Yes, sir, because, sir, we get to go into the evidence room now, sir. I think this place is a bad influence on the girl. The evidence room is beyond that door. And we have the ID card from Chief Dan. Let's just walk in. It won't open. Aha! The card reader is turned off, see? What is that security guard thinking?
Howdy, partners. Well, what's made my Bambina sky so gray?
Officer Marshall! Why does it have to be him?
What's that why does it have to be him look for? As you may have surmised, this here's my saloon.
We're here to investigate the crime scene.
Yee-haw! That card you got there on your chest? That's better than a sheriff's badge that he thought.
Yee-haw!
Well, what you standing there for? Get along, the doggies. The crime scene's awaiting.
Looks like the card reader's on again. While we're here, I was wondering if we could ask you some questions.
Sorry, cowboy, but I got no mind to tangle with you, hombres.
You're busy then, did I say that?
I only said I didn't wish to speak with you.
Actually, you said you had no mind to tangle with us hombres.
Oh, really? You're not gonna talk to us even though we have this? That smell. Ah, reminds me of Texas. So, Officer Marshall, you're from Texas? No, I just saw a special on television the other day. Is this from a baby? Yeah, Miss Star. What's this? What? What's wrong? Filet steak lunch. I see, I see. I don't see. I wonder what it means. Alright, Bambino, you win. Ask anything. Finally, it seems like he's willing to talk. Officer Marshall, you're in charge of security for the evidence room, right? You got good eyes, partner. It's an easy job, and I'm grateful for it. Actually, Officer Meekins at the detention center told us. Oh, that poor little doggy. Poor guy, I keep getting his name wrong. They're calling him Meekins. He told us something. He said that when the stabbing occurred, you weren't at your station. Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this. But since I got demoted from detective 2 years ago, well, it might not look it, but I lost my fire for the job, you know? So, what were you doing around 5:15 when the murder took place? Well, I reckon I was galloping down the highway on the back of my steed, Zippy. Note, he was riding down the highway on his horse named Zippy. There's no need for people here anyhow. These newfangled machines do a bang-up job of keeping an eye on the place. You mean the security camera system? I don't take the machines much. Kinda like that stewed broccoli they sneak in next to your steak, you know? Miss Star told us something. She said that you were a detective until 2 years ago. It was always my dream to be a rawhide wrangler on the scene of a crime. That's all gone now, like a drinking hole in a prairie fire. You're still investigating the SL9 incident with Miss Star, aren't you? That was my case. It's all solved on the record books, and it smells like a bad game of poker. I can't let it go. That's all there is to it. What kind of case was it anyway? I've heard the name so many times, but no one told me what actually happened. You're better off not knowing, Bambino. Anyway, that case is officially dead as of 2 years ago. And 2 days ago. 2 days ago, the day of our case. That's right. The evidence transferals. Edgeworth was talking about the transferals too. I know what maybe 2 of the machines are here do. Only 2 of them? There must be a dozen! Like I said, Bambino, me and machines will. I like them about as much as I like stewed cauliflower at my steak. The easiest ones to understand are these here security cameras. Those are the ones that Officer Meekins mentioned. If nothing happens, the tapes are automatically erased every few hours. And Officer Meekins and Spencer Goodman, are they on one of those tapes? I reckon they might be. You're a security guard and you reckon? One more thing. When you go into the evidence room, you need an ID card. That's the card reader by the door. The card reader leaves a record of every ID card that passes through. So this is the ID card record. Hey, I've seen that somewhere before. Sorry, Bambino, I can't show you more than that. Huh? I haven't heard whether this is related to the case yet. Mr. Wright, I saw a number on that record just now. I've seen that number before. Maybe there's some way I can prove that record is tied to the stabbing. Alright, then could you explain what this whole transferal thing is about? We keep only evidence from solved cases in this room. They're kept here under the presiding detective's supervision for 2 years. So we can reinvestigate them if it turns out there was a mistake, see? So what happens to the evidence after 2 years? It goes to sleep forever in the underground vault of the county sheriff's department. That's what we call a transferal. We do it every February. I see now. Transferal is like a funeral for old cases. 2 years after a case is solved, it's closed forever. Dead. Never to be reopened again, never to be reinvestigated. And that happened to SL9 2 days ago. See this? This is the victim's ID card. Ah, the one that was on the ground in the parking lot? The number on this is 584-2189. Officer Marshall, show us that ID card record again. Look, the 4th number is a perfect match. It was used at 5:14, right before the stabbing. What's more, there's only one of them cards in the world. So when the incident occurred, Detective Goodman was in the evidence room. But wait, what did Officer Meekins say? Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to display his ID card. So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do? That's the thing! Suddenly he pointed a knife at me!
If he had his ID card then,
Why would he have pointed a knife at Officer Meekins? Alright, compadre, you win. I guess I can give you this ID card record. I've got an idea. Maybe I should show this list to other people with IDs here. February 23rd, evidence room, sector 3. It's quiet. The investigation must be over here. So this is the evidence room? It really is kind of like a graveyard. Graveyards are supposed to have grass and trees. This feels more like a morgue. And nice try, Mr. Wright. You can't scare me. Ah! Whoa! Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. I wouldn't recommend going around smacking ghosts on the head, pal.
so is it true what I heard?
Righto, please, do I look like a selfish man? Heck, if anyone asks me, sir, can I borrow $50? I'd give them $50, no problem. So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's desire. Knock yourself out? Yeah, it's true. So chief of police can't loan anyone $50, even me? Oh, so that's what you were talking about. Actually, I was put in charge of the investigation for today. Just for today? Lost for a day. But guess what? You got permission from the chief, so now you're boss for the day. Gee, thanks. First of all, you'll want to have this.
So, Detective Ghost, you're boss for today? That's right. It's an honor. After all, the murder took place right here in the police department. But if you're a boss, why are you all alone? Where are your underlings?
They're using yesterday's findings to prepare for tomorrow's trial. In other words, you got kicked out of the investigation. Again. I'm adamant, though. I'm going to take control and put this case to rest. In my own evidence locker, pal. You have a locker in here, too, Detective Guppy? Of course! I am a detective, after all. They gave me a locker that only I can open, pal. Only you can open.
I'll always believe in Mr. Edgeworth, no matter what happens. So, Mr. Edgeworth is with the inquiry committee right now, right? They're trying to figure out who's responsible for the mess up in court today. I see. I guess this is what you call fate. Mr. Edgeworth just can't get away from that case. That case? Yeah, that case. The SL9 incident, of course. That was the beginning of the end for Mr. Edgeworth. Maybe you can get him to tell us more about the case. This place is more high-tech than you might think. Every locker is fixed so that only one set's been opening. Using their ID card? Well, that's the thing, pal. ID cards can be lost. I am on my third card since entering the force already. That sounds like a lot. Yeah, but even I can't lose my own right hand. Right hand? Oh, you mean your fingerprint? Exactly, pal. The lock for each locker is coded with a fingerprint. So the only locker we can open is our own. Funny, they look like normal lockers. These are the latest model. There's a trick to the handles, see? The handles? On the other side of the handles is a sensor. If the wrong person touches it, you get a shock. That's what happened. My hand would be black as smoking every day. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. Next goodness no, and that switchblade knife. But Edgeworth was the most surprised of anyone. That's the SL9 connection? That was Mr. Edgeworth's first big case, you know, 2 years ago. That was the first time the world knew Edgeworth was a man to be feared. But why would evidence from that case turn up now? I guess it's not over, pal. Maybe there are some loose ends left on that case. Now that was a bloody, violent case. Violent? So it was a murder? A serial killing? A serial killing? Maybe I don't want to get involved in this after all. The killer made a mistake, and Mr. Edgeworth built his case around that to data. This was 2 years ago? I put Mr. Edgeworth right in the spotlight. I started the rumor mill. Rumors about forged evidence? It was supposed to be all cleaned up with the transferal the other day. It was the last job he ever did. Detective Goodman, that is. Huh? What do you mean?
Inspector Goodman was detective in charge of the SL9-9 incident, see? So that switchblade knife. The victim took the knife out of the evidence locker himself? Could you take a look at this? This is the ID card record of the people who came in here on the day of the stabbing. Oh, I heard the rumors. So it was Goodman who came in here at the time of the murder. Whoa! What is it? That second number. It's not your ID number, is it? Does that count you? Mr. Edgeworth! What? The second number on this list belongs to Mr. Edgeworth! What? Why would Edgeworth have come to the evidence room? Someone left a glove here, but only one. Did that come to you, maybe? There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of absent-minded detective. It's evidence from the case, you know. You mean SL9? It does have a tag on it. What's this? Blood? It's a little warm, but there's definitely a handprint here. It looks like someone tried to wipe it off. Mr. Wright, what if there are other blood stains left in the room? We should use our testing fluid to check it out. I knew it! This is someone's right handprint! What? What's the matter, Detective? This locker is mine! It's yours? Please! You have to help me when they come to take me away. Promise you'll testify that I wouldn't harm the fly! You'll do that for me, won't you, pal? There's an important clue I'm jotting down on the floor plan. I'm counting on you guys! Believe me, you can't trust the police! What? But you're a detective! It must have been one massive pool of blood. I've never seen anything like it. Not a professional. What's your opinion, Detective? Pale blue blood. Maybe the Detective Goodman was actually an alien? It proves that something really happened in front of this locker. I'll make a note of it on the floor plan. Hey, if you didn't want in my opinion, you shouldn't have asked. Why am I getting a reaction here? There's no reason for the murderer to touch this spot if he let out the door. It just might be something significant. Hey, that's some pretty amazing stuff you got there, pal. What, this? It's called luminol testing fluid. Where'd you get your hands on that? Huh? I'd like to get some too. It costs us more than $50 on the cheap. Where do you get this, Emma? I was by mail order. Well, I'd better jot this down on the floor plan. Wow, someone must have broken something big to make all these pieces. Tried to come shoot, perhaps? There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of hooligan. That's apparently from the case. The case? The SL9 incident, pal. See the sticker on one of the pieces there? Another piece of SL9 evidence. I wonder what shape these pieces were in before whatever it was broke. You want to try to put it back together? Ha! Good luck, pal. That's no job for amateurs. Why, I spent a good 3 hours on that before I had to give up. That's why I always carry around a tube of glue. Well, this piece looks like the bottom. Let's try putting the rest in place.
There we go. There we go. Nope. Nope. Yep. There we go. Yep. Uh-huh. And there we go. Huh? Well, I think we did it. Some of the pieces are missing. Yeah, I got that far too in 2 minutes myself. The problem is finishing it. Were some pieces stolen? I bet they were missing to begin with. Still, it doesn't look like the most stable kind of jar. I kind of understand how it got broken. Hey, pal, look at the time! Was there something you needed to be going to? They said that Mr. Edwards' inquiry committee should be letting out soon. I'm gonna go give them my report for today. It might help, you know. Report? You mean the note written on the back of that flyer? The one that says nothing but no problems? Hey, it's Mr. Edgeworth we're talking about. I'm sure he could use a report like this. I believe in him. Who needs enemies when you've got friends like Detective Gumshoe? I'm off, pal. Later! I should probably see what Edgeworth has to say, too. February 23rd, High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. Ah, yes! My apologies. Oh, it's you. Have we met somewhere? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave. So long. Is Edgeworth here? There, standing by the window, a teacup in his hand. Right. He asked the hotel bring him tea service? Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry? I am. By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you. Ah, yes. He brought me the latest information, it seems. Really? Was it helpful? Apparently, a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he was trying to console me somehow. The real info is on the other side, Edgeworth. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I think this whole thing is really taking a toll on him. So how did the inquiry committee go? Actually, they decided to treat this not as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communication error during the investigation. Concealing evidence? Yes, apparently there are some who believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time. Again. Again! I've heard them say that so many times, ever since that case 2 years ago. Are you okay for the trial tomorrow? Well, I'm still the presiding prosecuting attorney. However, something happened. They gave control of the investigation over to the police department. The police department? Yes, any further investigation for this case will be directed by the chief of police, Gant. I can do nothing but wait for his results. I see. Why, I ask you? Why? Oh look, I've done only what I believe is right. I have nothing to be ashamed of. But still, wow, I've never seen him this out of sorts. Oh right, I better check this now. As I was saying, What's this? A record of ID card usage? Edgeworth, you went into the evidence room that day, didn't you?
just before the incident occurred, no less. Yes, that's true. But why, Mr. Edgeworth? Please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go. By Chief Gant, no less. The Chief of Police? He wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. But it was solved, right? It would have to be if the evidence was already filed. He just never wanted to explain himself. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. Can I ask what kind of case it was? I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case. Now I'm curious about this other case. I'd better make a note of it. Stubborn and always. I told you this has nothing to do with the current case. I know you. You've probably got a hold of some information already, right? It all has to do with that case you were on, the SL9 incident, and some dark suspicion you were wrapped up in. You are the man who revived the worst memory of my life. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later. He must be talking about his father's murder in that elevator. Okay, Edgeworth, why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth. The SL9 incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of the investigation was the deputy chief of the police at the time, Damon Gann. That wacky old kook was involved in the case 2 years ago too then. He was a top officer. It was my first time working with him. I was nervous. Wow, you get nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth? What I want to know is why a deputy chief of police was on the investigation. In truth, I used slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with a vicious murderer. If I let him go, the blood would be on my hands. We want our guilty verdict. The killer was executed. Wait, you didn't? Of course not! I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code, and I follow it faithfully. By the way, Emma, the chief prosecutor wanted to know something. My sister? What? If you were still studying forensic science. Huh? Yes, of course. Why, just today, Mr. Wright and I were using this. Luminol testing fluid, Well then, you might have use for this. Aluminum powder for taking fingerprints. It's been chemically treated for better adhesion. For me? Are you sure? We are the enemy, you know. I have no say in today's investigation. Do as you will. Edgeworth, I'm really... No need to thank me. Here, take your powder and these fingerprint files for everyone involved. Thanks. How about giving these to Detective Gumshoe as well? Well, let's get going. One last investigation. Right. I do seem to remember seeing suspicious handprints somewhere. Evidence from Sector 3. Our investigation turned up a suspicious handprint. Here, in this blood, on the detective's evidence locker. Let's use the secret weapon we just borrowed. Right, let's get started. First, choose a finger. A finger? Each finger leaves behind a slightly different imprint. So let's choose the finger that will have left behind the clearest print. I really can't tell the difference at a glance. Quit procrastinating and choose a finger. Okay, now it's time to check for prints. Let me show you how it's done. Emma's starting to get that sparkle in her eyes. First, we sprinkle the aluminum powder around. Well, how do you do that? With the X button. See? Ah, it looks like that is the trick. The aluminum powder adheres completely to the print. Once powder is well spread, just blow away the excess. Well, how do I do that? With the triangle button. Exciting, I know. Imagine you're blowing out the candles on a birthday cake. See? So they changed it, so it's no longer attached to the mic. Wow, that looks like fun. It might take some getting used to, though. It's fine, it won't go up your nose or anything. Just pour the powder on thick and blow away the excess. Those are the basics of fingerprinting, Mr. Wright. I guess I'd better give it a try. Aha! You did it! You found one! But this looks nothing like a fingerprint. Now that you mention it, I guess it doesn't. What does it mean? I think it means we're out of luck. Out of luck? The person who left this handprint must have worn gloves. Don't tell me we've been wasting our time here. Hey, calm down. That's just the way it goes. sometimes with scientific investigations, but it does seem a shame. While we're at it, why don't we look for other prints? Other prints? Looking at the locker door again closely. It seems like there are fingerprints outside the bloody handprint as well. Let's see if we can find a clear print. Fingerprints outside the blood print. Yay! A print so clear it's dazzling! Dazzling? Anyway, this print took a lot of effort to find. Let's match it up right away. So we're not done yet? This is quite a process. Well, there's no point in finding a fingerprint and not knowing who the owner is, right? I guess she's right. Look at the fingerprint data we got from Mr. Edgeworth and point out the person you think left these prints. Huh? How am I supposed to know who it was? I can make a pretty good guess. The bloody handprint and the fingerprints are in different places, right? That means that the prints probably don't have anything to do with our case. So whose fingerprints would we most likely find on this evidence locker? Easy. Detective Gumshoes. Aha! So these prints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You gave me this so what look. I guess that probably because I was thinking so what. Okay, so we came up with nothing this time, but there's always next time. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. You gotta roll with the punches, Mr. Wright. Thanks for the sympathy. Wait, if I remember correctly, there was one other handprint in this room. Let's check it out. This is where we got a luminol fluid reaction, right? Right, there was a handprint here. Okay, want to try using this? Here we go, her eyes sparkling again. Actually, let's not check. What? Why not? Find my patient any longer. Don't put this powder over your head. Maybe I should better check for those prints after all. But wait, let me... This is where we got... Okay, okay, let's check for prints. That's the spirit. Oh, but I have to warn you about first. What? The area with the blood was wiped away, right? You only ended up finding it using chemical means. Any prints in that area will have been wiped away too. Oh, right. So that means no prints. So if you say the probability of hypothesis is right, don't ask me. Anyway, you must try to find prints that weren't wiped away, that's other than the ones left by the bloody hand. Okay, that's not a match. Ah, there we go. Jake Marshall. Hey, these fingerprints, whose are they? Whose? Is it someone I know? It's Officer Marshall. Huh? Officer Jake Marshall? That's gotta be a coincidence. He's not involved in the crime. Emma, this is decidedly different from Detective Gumshoe's friends. Luminol reaction. The blood and the fingerprints are in the same place. Oh! So we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints on a white blood stain. But why would Officer Marshall? Looks like the investigation is finally turning up some results. I guess this is what you'd call decisive evidence. I don't believe it.
And with that, I shall call the live stream to an end today. So, thank y'all for watching, and as always, this is your host, TheAmariaShadow, saying along Z, and I'll see you for the next adventure. Goodbye, everyone!